it's Alyce, and I'm here today to discuss the 10 books I really should have read in 2021. So I did this video in 2020 and I just revisited it, and I've realised that I've actually read about half of the books that I put on that video. So hopefully by listing these books here today for you, it will mean that by this time next year I'll have read at least half of them. So I've picked some that I'm really excited in, really interested in, want to read quite desperately, and hopefully by this time next year I'll have read at least half of them. So without further ado, these are books that I'm disappointed in myself for not having picked up yet, but ones that I will hopefully pick up soon. The first book I'd like to talk about today is After Love by Tanya Byrne. I was so excited when this got announced. This cover got revealed last summer and I've been excited about it since then because it's such a stunning cover. Fairyloot did an exclusive edition. This is that edition. I've got a Waterstones copy as well, so I've got 2 copies of this book. And I was so excited because it's about a girl who dies and then she basically becomes the Reaper. And it's a case that she can only be reunited with her first love if her first love dies. So it's like that contradiction of like, okay, well, I don't want them to die because then they will be dead, but then I want them to be with me. And it sounds like it's going to be very romantic and also very sad. And I think it's going to be on the Wave at price shortlist. So I should be reading this after February. If I don't read it before then, I will have to reread it in February. But I'm pretty sure that this one's going to be shortlisted, so I'm low-key holding off to read it then. I just wasn't planning on holding off. I was planning on reading it twice. I didn't get to it when it first came out. The next book I probably should have read this year is You by Caroline Kepnes. I probably should have read You many years ago because the series has been out for a couple of years. I think there's 3 seasons of it now. The 3rd book has just come out. I've owned this book on my Kindle for like 7 years, I think. I got it quite soon after it came out. Yeah, 2014, so 7 years I've owned this book and I still haven't read it. And now Water Parks have a song that literally references this book and I still haven't picked it up. What am I thinking? Water Parks, as you can see, Bummer Jumper, favourite band, and I'm not reading a book that they have referenced in one of their songs. So what am I doing? I should have read this year. I will hopefully read it next year. The 3rd book on this list was actually an honourable mention last year because I was convinced I was going to read it by the end of December 2020, and that is The Invisible Life of Addy Larue by V.E. Schwab, which I have still not started, let alone read, and I now own 2 gorgeous copies of it, so hopefully that will change. I think the hype just scared me on this one. Everybody was saying it was the best book they'd ever read, or that they were thoroughly underwhelmed, so I got a bit scared in case I was thoroughly underwhelmed, and I did not pick it up. And I've realised this one's got illustrations in it. I had no idea. How cool is that? We will not get distracted by pretty pictures right now when we're filming. But yes, this was a book that I was very excited about reading and I haven't read it. And I should have read it in 2020, but I definitely should have read it in 2021 because it's now been out for a whole year and I still haven't picked it up. Hopefully 2022 will be the year for me to finally discover the hype around Addy Larue. The 4th book on this list is one I promised myself I would read at the start of the year, which is Graceling by Kristen Cashore, because I decided I wouldn't let myself order the Fairyloot Special Edition set unless I'd finished the 1st book. As you can see, this is the Fairyloot Special Edition, and I have not read the 1st book. I read the 1st chapter, and I liked it, and I thought, yeah, I might as well get the book. And then I read no more. I've got to read these. I've got to. Assassins and fantasy and YA fantasy, and it's enjoyable and I've heard great things about it, and apparently each of the books has a different protagonist because they're more companion novels than an overarching story. I think that's a really cool idea. So hopefully I will read this one in 2022. Another book that I own the whole series of and I still haven't picked up is An Ember in the Ashes by Sebasta here. I was planning on taking part in An Ember in the Ash along, which was hosted over on Bookish Buddies channel, and somehow I failed. I had a reading schedule, I had a plan, I was all prepared to do it, and then I was prepared to catch up ready for book 2, and then I was prepared to catch up for book 3, and then I forgot that the read-along was going on and I didn't catch up at all. I didn't even start. I don't know much about An Ember in the Ashes. There is a girl called Leia and a boy called Alyce, and they have beautiful, beautiful Fairyloot editions, and I want to love them because I have 3 copies of the first one, and I don't know why I haven't read it yet, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Hopefully 2022 will be the year that I finally pick this up. Another book I really should have read this year was the Blackout collaboration novel between Danielle Clayton, Nick Stone, Tiffany D. Jackson, Angie Thomas, Nicola Yoon and Ashley Woodfolk. So Angie Thomas and Nicola Yoon, I have read all of their books and rated them all very highly. Nick Stone, I've read a couple of her books, rated them quite well. So this is authors that I know that I love. And it's a very short collaborative novel. It's so tiny. I think it's just over 200 pages. 250 pages, exactly. This I should be able to read in one sitting, and I don't know why I was so excited about it, and I let myself get so hyped up, and I didn't pick it up. I don't know if I hyped up too much for myself, but I want to read this as soon as I can, especially because this edition is just so gorgeous, and I want to know that the insides are as gorgeous as the outsides, because I love the concept of there being this blackout, and it being individual stories set in this blackout, so it's like looking at different vignettes of this city. Great idea. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. Another book I promised I would read before these sequels were released was Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I promised I would read the first book before I bought the second one, and I didn't, and then I promised I would read the first and the second before I bought the third, and I have Aurora's End on the stairs, and I have not read Aurora Rising or Aurora Burning, so that did not end well. These are gorgeous editions, and I'm really interested in them, and I don't know why I haven't read them, but I haven't read them. Will I hope so, but I didn't love Illuminae as much as I thought I was going to. By the end, I loved the first one, kind of like the second one, a bit disdainful of the third one. Worried this is going to go the same way, which is why I've been putting it off. But now that the series is complete, I'm more likely to try the first one so that I can just binge them. I just probably should have already read them like years and years ago, but definitely this year. Same story for this one actually, which is The Midnight Lie by Marie Rutkoski. I promised I would read this one before Hollow Heart came out. I did not. Hollow Heart is on my bookcase and this one is still unread. But these are stunning, and I don't care if I don't enjoy them because they're stunning, and I love these editions so deeply that even if I hate these stories, I'm going to keep them. So, do I ever really need to read this book? Who knows? It might just be one of those things when I'm totally disappointed by it and I wish I hadn't read it. But I've heard amazing things about this one, and I think it's sapphic. I'm saying it's sapphic. I want it to be sapphic. Please be sapphic. How many times can I say sapphic? I want to love this, and I hopefully will. Another book I really should have read this year, Empire of the Vampire. If you haven't heard of this, where have you been? It's like the biggest release of this year and I haven't read it. I've got 3 copies of it. Sean has his own copy of it. We have 4 copies of this book in this house and we have not read it. What are we doing? What are we doing? That one I will read next year. I hope. And another super hyped book you definitely will have heard of that I should have read this year, A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. I tried. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I read A Court of Mist and Fury. I got halfway through A Court of Wings and Ruin and I crashed. I just could not get any further. I was enjoying it, I thought, but I just could not carry on. So I have this new book and I will hopefully read this new book and enjoy it. But I need to catch up to do that and I have not caught up yet. So I guess A Court of Wings and Ruin probably should have been the one on this video. But I was so determined to read this one the year it came out and I have not succeeded with that. So this one I should have read this year. And those are the 10 books that I feel like I really should have read this year. If you've read any of these, let me know down in the comments. Tell me which one I should read first. Let me know if you think that there's one that I will like more than the others that might help me get through these. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to subscribe, I'd be super duper grateful. Posting a new video every day in December, so we'll see you tomorrow with the next one. Bye! Hey everyone, it's Alyce, and I'm here to talk about 10 books I really should have read in 2021. So I did this video last year and I was just checking back over it and I've actually read about half of the books that I featured in my books I should have read in 2020 video. So hopefully by listing these in here, by this time next year I'll realise that I've actually read quite a few of them. We can hope, it probably won't happen like that. But these are just books that I was really excited about. Oh fuck, it's done the fucking audio thing again. Oh bloody. Hello? There we go. Let's try again. Hey everyone, it's Alyce.